Yeah, no kid. We're done for the night. Nope. Contrary to popular belief, vampires need to rest too. Sure, not as often as a human, but we do still need it. We're a third of the way to Kaluna. We've put a decent distance between us and Angel's Trumpet. Unless they're moving in vehicles, which we'll be able to hear coming. We've got enough ground on them. For now. So just relax and get some rest. We're heading out the second even a sliver of sunlight appears on the horizon, so enjoy it. Kaluna's all the way down in southern Cali, not a long way to go, but long enough to encourage us to stay vigilant. Kaluna's barrier will be able to keep the hunters out, and from there we can plan our next move. Most likely I'll take you to Kaluna Coven's main base and leave you with those of our kind better suited for raising newborns. I'm not a maker. I have no plans to change that, so I don't have the faintest clue of what you'll need. Of course I knew my own maker. I told you, there's a curse that keeps makers from walking away from their progeny. Literally, they can't get more than a few feet away before they start experiencing sharp stabbing pains all over their body. The pain gets worse the further away they are, while the progeny experiences nothing. Sort of a sweet deal dependent on who you're tied to. My own maker was great. He did a wonderful job of teaching me. But my turn-in and yours are very different. If you must know, I was turned in 1743. My maker stumbled upon me. I was burned at the stake. It's not as dramatic as it sounds, though it was as painful as you'd imagine. I was tried for witchcraft, tale as old as time back then. Well, they weren't wrong. I was a latent mystic. Well, technically dragonborn. They get a bit uppity if you group them with the others. Yes, my magic hadn't fully developed until I was turned. And then... ice. My maker found my burnt remains. They weren't very thorough back then, so no one noticed the charred corpse was still breathing. My maker was amazed at me and turned me right then and there. He also did it because he knew I had magic. When a normal human is turned, they're just like a regular vampire. Same as most mystics, but sorcerers and dragonborns, they get to keep their magic. It makes them very valuable in the vampire world, so my maker wasn't about to let me go to waste. Oh no, I idolized him. He gave me a life I never would have had. I was grateful. I am still grateful. I was just a maid. I grew up as another nameless orphan in France. I worked my way up to tend to royalty, but that just led to the others noticing my strangeness. My maker changed that. He gave me a new name and a place to call home. For a while, it was just us. I followed wherever he went, and once he found his own coven, he made me his right hand. Of course, that life turned out to not be for me, and he let me roam. But I would return, even though, eventually, he turned another, one I could barely stand to tolerate on a good day, but I endured it to keep my maker happy. No, kid, my maker's dead. He was ancient and strong, and very, very smart and clever, but sometimes that's just not enough. My brother can be a bit of an ass because we don't see eye to eye, but he won't turn you away. You're exactly the type of poor unfortunate soul he and his partner will fall over themselves to help. I told you, leading a coven wasn't for me. To be fair to my brother, he tried to hand it over to me as the oldest, but I refused. I've been an Angel's Trumpet ever since. It's been years. I'd imagine they're still in the same place, but, well, places tend to change throughout the years, don't they? Has anything come back to you at all? Not even a little. Or something seemingly insignificant. It's odd. Vamp healing should be helping to aid the process. Of course, you were down for the count, but I was expecting something by now. It's hardly your fault. Whether your previous self is in part to blame or not, you in this current moment can't help your memories resurface. I'm sure by the time we arrive in Kowloon, you'll have started to remember bits and pieces. If not, well, Kowloon's bound to have someone around who's capable of helping the process along. Oh, the accent. You do know they change over time, right? Believe it or not, even vampires aren't frozen for eternity. Time changes everything. My original accent faded a long time ago. This one, well, it may be in part thanks to my maker, or it may have something to do with the fact that the last time I was socializing was back in the 1920s. That's a bit more complicated. Magic's a bit chaotic. Every time it pops up, it kinda does whatever it wants. People try to sort all of us magic users into different groups to make sense of it all, but like all things, there are exceptions. Dragonborns come from dragons. We're shifters who can't shift, in a sense. But dragon magic is strong enough to resist the turn-in in ways other animal-based users can't. So I got to keep the powers I had no clue about. And this necklace. It's been with me for a while. It's held up pretty well over the years. Still looks brand new. Some real tough magic attached to it, keeping it safe. The gem's gray, but it's supposed to change according to your dragon. My maker was very knowledgeable on a lot of things, but dragons are pretty protective over their truths. I had to hunt one down to get any clear answers. Basically, this necklace was made when I was still in the womb. It's like this big thing, connecting me to my dragon soulmate, if you will. All dragonborns have corresponding dragon companions they're destined to find. Nah, I never found mine, and most likely never will. I'm still technically a dragonborn, and dragons don't pay me no mind, but I've been alive for a long time, kid. The only dragons that live as long as I have are the elder dragons, and they've got their riders. Mine's long gone by now. Huh? Well, yeah, the existence of the necklace implies I had parents at some point, as much as my very existence does. It doesn't change that I grew up not knowing them. Things were different back then. Trust me, I've tried to find out what happened, but there was nothing to find. Any trail from the 1700s is long gone by now. Of course I'm curious. I'm damn near the only dragonborn that's grown up not knowing anything about magic. Others may skip a few gens, but dragon blood is strong. At least one or both of my parents had magic, and I'll never know why I ended up where I did. But if I obsessed about it every minute, I would have gone insane a long time ago. I learned to let it go. I'll figure it out one day, but that day's not today. It's like your memories. There's no sense in stressing yourself out about it. Once we get to Kowloon, you'll have forever to remember what happened to you. Right now, we just have to focus on getting you there. Even with amnesia, you seem like a good kid. I highly doubt that whatever led you to my doorstep was solely your fault. I'd even go as far as to say it was a case of wrong place at wrong time. You and your maker probably stumbled upon those hunters by accident. It wouldn't surprise me if your maker was young. It's easier to do than you'd think. It's the years of experience that keeps us older vamps alive for so long. Okay, smart mouth. Yeah, I do suppose living longer means I've lived longer. You're real proud of yourself, aren't you? I'm just saying, there's things you pick up over time. I'm sure once you remember them, you will mourn, and you'll feel bad about not mourning sooner. But that's not your fault. You can't help that you don't even have a face to the title. For your sake, I hope they were a friend. I'd rather focus on that version of your story for now. Why don't you get some sleep? You don't really need it, but it might help to turn your brain off for a while. I'll wake you once the sun's up. Kid, you can start thanking me once we reach the city. Any more before that, and I'll get tired of hearing you say it. I mean it. Sleep. It'll do you some good. I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll wake up with a little memory to agonize over on the run tomorrow. Good night, kid.